Good afternoon. My name is Iona Beange. I'm a Knowledge Exchange and Impact Officer at the University of Edinburgh. The purpose of my role is to help researchers get involved in public engagement and knowledge exchange activities. In essence, I do a lot of the background organisational work, which saves the researchers time and helps them engage with a wide variety of audiences. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you a very brief overview of the type of work I do. At a basic level, I help the group with things like websites, videos, social media, and other general project communications, but my work extends well beyond that. Where possible, I try to add value or impact to my researchers' existing activities. For example, the discussion that took place at last autumn's MQ event was written up as an official report to the MRC, complete with a DOI. Similarly, in 2018, my researchers decided to feed back their results to members of the cohorts who had kindly donated their data. So I encouraged them to include some multiple choice questions. Each speaker chose 2 or 3 questions related to their future research plans, and participants responded using a clicker. So, for example, we asked, would you be willing for researchers to use information from your health record in research? A massive 76% of our participants answered yes, without reservation. Similarly, when participants were asked about the use of newborn blood spots for research, they were very enthusiastic. But some questions got a more mixed response, for example, changing an aspect of their lifestyle or taking a new drug. Although we cannot say that these results represent the attitudes of the general public, we can say that around 200 members of our cohorts agree with the proposed research plans. That has made this data very useful for things like grant applications, ethics, and PBPP panels. We have also recently published about this in Welcome Open Research. I also get my researchers involved in lots of other things. I'll whiz through a few examples of these now. My first example is science festivals. On this slide, you can see 3 activities that I created for family science festival audiences. We have delivered these several times in person, and I'm now adapting them for online delivery. When I'm thinking about science festivals, I ask the researchers what messages they want me to communicate and try to come up with fun ways to achieve that. Similarly, on this slide, you can see 3 community groups that we have worked with to create a song, poetry, and even a brand new ceilidh dance inspired by our data science work. I worked with the groups individually, and then I brought them all together for a celebratory resilience ceilidh, where they could show off their work to family and friends. Sometimes I commission artists to create new pieces. Art has a way of inspiring questions, both about the piece itself and the research work that inspired it. Recently, I have been assisting my research group to engage with policymakers. When the MRC arranged an event at the Scottish Parliament, I helped my researchers prepare. As a direct result of that event, we received 2 official visits, as you can see on this slide. As well as practical preparations, a key aspect of my role during these visits was to ensure that everyone was clear on our policy asks. What did we want the policy makers to do as a result of this visit? Since then, some progress has been made on access to Guthrie spots in Scotland, for example. In terms of policy engagement, I also do other things, such as draft responses to official consultations, and keep an eye on what is being discussed in Parliament. Finally, I'd like to highlight one of our current projects, where we are working with both data researchers and people with lived experience of depression to create a set of digital stories. These will be used at future festivals, events, and in research talks, so maybe you'll see one of them at a future MQ meeting. And just in case you wondered, my role is funded in the same way that researchers are. It is written into research grants. I was previously funded by an MRC Pathfinder grant, and building on the success of that award, we subsequently achieved European Commission Horizon 2020 funding to continue and expand on the work we had started. So that concludes my whistle-stop tour. I hope you found some of that useful, and I'd be happy to answer some questions.